This is B paper, watercolor paper. It's 100% cotton, and it's cold press, but there's a little bit of texture, not too much, which is fine. What I'll do is take a couple of pieces and cut it down to smaller sizes, getting myself ready for future pieces, doodles or paintings. And I'm going to get approximately equal distance, and I'm using my whiskers. So the light that I have up here is a ring light because the sky is overcast. So I apologize for that, and also sometimes my camera doesn't focus in on what I'm painting or doodling, and it gets confused, so it blurs out a little bit. You can use anything you have like an exact little blade or scissors, but I'm kind of accident prone, so I don't like to push it. So, pretty good. I'm surprised that I didn't get cut, because me and sharp edges don't go out together. So I'll be back in a minute. So, in previous video, when I was, oh, it's not work. So, don't mind me. I'm just talking to myself. Anyway, in videos prior to this, when I was going over patterns that you could do, I was using this here, the Hahnemuller pad, but I wanted to change it up a little bit and offer you the pattern and then the an example or two of the pattern in action. So I'm trying to figure out a layout possibly that I can use. Okay. Turn it up a little bit. That way, actually, this is better. So, when I was growing up in Chicago, there were the buildings that I had an apartment with my parents. There was mosaic patterns or tile patterns on the floor. So this is basically my idea of a tile pattern, and I'm keeping it rather simple. But once I explain it, you can embellish it however you want. So what I'm doing is I'm laying in straight lines, trying to keep it equidistant from each other. I'm not using a ruler, um, but if you want to use a ruler, you can go ahead and do that. But I'm just giving you a basic idea. So we're almost done. Bear with me. Okay, one more here. And you can have it wider spaced. So again, going this way, kind of a checkerboard kind of thing. Again, just have fun with what you're doing. And this is basically, like I said, the quick way. And if you want to do like larger squares, that's fine. It kind of is like the Harlequin pattern. So what I do is, don't worry about the pencil marks that are out of the frame. We'll deal with it in a minute. I'm going to start inking in. I'm going to be using my Doodle art pens, in this case the 03. Basically, I'm going to draw on the lines that I just drew in with the again, I'm not worried about lines breaking or lining up 100% because it is, after all, a doodle. And this is something that you would be able to do it at school or work, or on the bus if it's stopped, or at home. Okay, that's done. I'm wearing my hoodie because it's kind of cold, so gotta keep myself comfortable. And again, I'm making lines pulling towards me versus trying to go away from me. And if your lines are wonky or a little messed up, don't worry. This is a great pattern to use in your doodles, especially if you're doing architectural elements. It serves as a great background. And again, if it goes wonky off the line, don't worry. So let's do that. And the lines. So with this, I'm going to change up what I normally approach a line drawing, and that I would normally um, round out the edges, but I'm not going to do it this time. Well, at least not totally, and I'll explain it momentarily. Hope you're not getting dizzy from my moving my piece of paper around. So this is what it looks like now. Okay, I am going to round out some of the areas, but not everything. Just the areas that are edged in the frame. And if you're new to rounding out, it's the I like it because it's very smoothing in the repetitive nature of it, but the extra line weight is adding more dimension to your doodle. I'll speed up this process a little bit. Almost done. A little bit much on that one, but you can always vary it up as far as how much black you want to add. Okay, I'm going to go in with my kneaded eraser. I like to use kneaded erasers because they're more gentle on paper. Okay, the other thing with this design or pattern is I like to do a square in the center. A kind of small square. Because doing this gives it a more three-dimensional look. And you can vary it up as far as how you do the squares inside. Or even if you want to leave it blank like this. Of course, when you're doing it, you can take your time, but I want to just give you an idea of how to do it. Okay. Another way you can do it is with a circle. So if you gravitate to soft edges, you can do this. I'm going to change the point on my pen so that I'm not ruining or over stressing the nib point. So I'm going to be using a 6 or 0.6. And it's faster as well. And another thing you can do, as opposed to square, circle, is like that. So the tile pattern is very flexible as far as what you want to do with it. And if some of the lines are larger than others, nobody is going to know one way or the other. And I think this is the last one. So what do you think about this? I want to break up these spaces a little bit. Okay. So, for example, if you have a design going on and you want to, say, put some arches in, but you want to change it up a little bit, and add a pattern, And you can see I'm not really, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, worried about the measurements of the lines. Kind of eyeballing it. Going in with the number 3 first. Kind of adjusting the line width within. And kind of going around the edges that make the arch and make the squares kind of like a cobblestone or whatever they're called. Brick, yeah, a brick. Okay, so let's go with the circle. Let's give this a little bit of brickwork. Now I could have left it by itself, but I like to have things look finished. So if you like this video, you can hit the subscription button and be notified when I upload another video. And this is another pattern that I will be going over with you relatively soon. there's a lot of patterns that I like to use in my doodles. Okay, so that's an archway, but you can have used the brickwork for the pattern here, and then the pattern replacing that one. It always depends on what you want to do. So let's go in with my eraser and get rid of the extra lines. Now, you you could add more detail to either of these, but when you add more detail, like if you go like this and you carry it all the way in, this now becomes a focal point. So if you want this archway to become a focal point, then you can continue. I don't want this to be a focal point yet, so I'm going to, if I was to use this as a doodle, I would step away, continue with the doodle around it, and then decide on whether or not I want to do that as a focal point. So what you can do is this, and again, you don't have to be perfect. Or a circle around that. Or extend the lines. And for this, I'm using my Signo 208. But you see when I'm meaning with it becoming a focal point. These are focal points. These are secondary points. All right, so let's go with this. Okay, let's go with a circle. I'm freehanding it, so it's not going to be perfect. And a bit of some organic stuff going on here. Okay, the number 3 again. And I'm breaking the fourth wall, or the frame, because I like doing that, you know. Okay. And I'm going to do a little of rounding out, kind of like the border over here. Okay. A little bit of greasing. I do want to extend the frame a little bit. And the line that's curving, that's fine. It means that it's handmade and not by kind of a graphic software. So I'm going to include the tile in both this area and a bit on the background. Frame it a little bit. Now, again, I'm just going for an idea that you can do. To get your juices flowing, as it were. And a bit more smaller. And while we're at it, why don't we go up and down with this one. And have your grip on your pen light. You don't need a lot of pressure. If you can see, I didn't do any of the embellishment within. I'm not sure how I want to treat that. You can always get back and forth within your doodle. Throughout the doodling process. And you can just sometimes go in without first doing your pencil if you feel comfortable doing it. And since so much is going on in the doodle space as it is, a few errors are not going to matter much. So this technique I'm doing with this is the same one I did with this. Rounding out the edges, but in a negative and positive framework. A little bit more movement in here. Okay, and then with this one, I'm going to do some hearts. Because why not? And I'm going to just do a line down here. Because I think if you do the whole area in hearts, it kind of makes it a little bit busy. So the video I'm going to suggest coming up over here in the end screen is another one of my patterns, and I hope you got inspired and enjoyed the video. Go out and doodle. Take care.